I'm Dr. Rick Green, Senior Medical Editor for General Surgery News, and we're coming to you today from the 87th annual meeting of the Southeastern Surgical Congress meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's my true pleasure to be with the just elected new president of the Southeastern, Dr. Becky Britt. Dr. Britt is a professor of surgery at the Eastern Virginia School of Medicine, and welcome and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What do you say to, and you deal with young residents and students at EVMS, what do you say to them about getting involved in organizations and staying involved? It's a different kind of culture that we see in young people today. What are you telling them?
Yeah, I think it's so important to get involved in local and regional organizations when you're young, when you're in residency training, even when you're in medical school. It's really fascinating to meet the medical students who are here. There was even actually a girl applying for medical school who was here presenting from Indiana. Just getting involved, finding something that you're interested in. We talked a little bit about this morning in the Women in Surgery breakfast of how to get involved, and the advice I gave them was, figure out what you're really passionate about. Figure out if that's something that there maybe is a committee, and then join that committee and see how you can come up with an idea or a plan to create and make something different. Whether it's just to get more tweeting going on from the younger generation through communications, or whether it's, a couple of years ago we realized we didn't really have anything looking at young surgeons who were done with training but new into practice. So we started the Young Surgeons Committee, which just was something that was a passion of mine. And this organization allowed us to do that and take off and run, and now it's continued to evolve under Amy Hildreth, where they're now doing mock orals. And so I think just finding what you're passionate about and figuring out how within the organization, if there's not something already happening, potentially where could that happen, what venue would be available to make some changes. And I think Southeastern Surgical is particularly open to listening to ideas and new ways of doing things.
You mentioned your work with the Women's Surgical Group, because this has been a national movement. There's an association of women's surgeons.
Mm-hmm.
You've really highlighted it for this organization. What new things are you trying to do with young women coming into this particular organization?
I think it's really important for young women to know that there are lots of us who are a little further along in our practice who have been successfully able to be a surgeon, be a mom, be a woman, have outside interests. And that we also really have a strong voice. I think people are really listening to women surgeons. People are interested to hear what women have to say. I think there's been a lot of attention on unconscious bias over the last couple of years. And the more we talk about these things, the more conscious you become of those issues. So I think that providing support, providing inspiration, one of the women this morning trained in the 80s when there weren't nearly as many women surgeons. I trained in the 90s, there were more of us. But more and more of our medical students are women, and the reality is when you look at this meeting, when you look at the young people here at the meeting, many of them are women. And I think we just need to be supportive and show some leadership to some of our younger women coming through.
Well, you've done such a great job with the Southeastern, and of course your career is wonderful. I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
On taking over the reins as president. We've been talking with Dr. Becky Britt, professor of surgery at Eastern Virginia School of Medicine, and the new president of the Southeastern Surgical.
Thank you
so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.